You've probably seen these before. T568A, T568B. Two Ethernet cable standards that have confused IT students, networking beginners, and random office workers for years. And the funniest part? Most people memorized the wire colors without ever knowing why these two standards even exist. So today, let's talk about the strange history behind Ethernet cable Type A and Type B, and why the internet still carries this old networking drama to this day. Okay, first, what actually is Type A and Type B? Inside an Ethernet cable, there are 8 tiny wires. Those wires are grouped into twisted pairs. And when you terminate the cable into an RJ45 connector, you have to arrange the colored wires in a specific order. That order is called a wiring standard. Now here's where things get weird. There are 2 common standards, T568A and T568B. And beginners usually think, oh, one must be faster. Nope. Maybe one is more secure? Also nope. The truth is, the difference is surprisingly small. The orange and green wire pairs are swapped. That's literally the big difference. That's it. Networking students around the world have suffered over 2 color swaps. So if the difference is so tiny, why do both exist? Well, to understand that, we need to go back in time. Back before modern Ethernet networks took over offices and homes, telephone systems ruled the building infrastructure. Buildings were already filled with wiring standards made for phones. Then Ethernet showed up and basically said, hey guys, I need wiring too. Engineers now had a problem. They needed a way for Ethernet to coexist with existing telecom wiring systems without rebuilding entire buildings from scratch. This is where T568A comes in. T568A was designed to be more compatible with older telephone wiring layouts. Because of that, it eventually became the preferred standard for government and official structured cabling installations. So technically, Type A is the more standards-compliant choice. But then, the corporate world did what the corporate world always does. They ignored it. Many companies were already using an older AT&T wiring style that closely matched what later became T568B. Technicians got used to it, installers kept using it, businesses standardized around it, and slowly, Type B became the unofficial king of networking. So now we had 2 standards surviving at the same time. One because of official compatibility, and the other because everybody just kept using it. Classic IT behavior. To next section. Now here's the really interesting part. If both ends of the cable use the same standard, A to A works perfectly, B to B also works perfectly. But if one side is A and the other side is B, congratulations, you just made a crossover cable. And younger IT people watching this are probably thinking, okay, but what's a crossover cable? Oh, you sweet summer child. Back in the old days, network devices were not smart. A PC could not directly talk to another PC correctly. A switch could not directly connect to another switch correctly. The transmit and receive wires needed to be swapped manually, so engineers intentionally used one end as Type A and the other as Type B to cross the signal pairs. Hence the name, crossover cable. These cables were basically networking black magic back then. And if you forgot which cable was crossover versus straight through, good luck troubleshooting at 2 a.m. Now thankfully, modern devices are smarter. Most modern switches, routers, NICs, and laptops support something called Auto MDI MDIX. Fancy name, simple idea. Devices can automatically detect and swap the transmit and receive pairs themselves, meaning modern devices often don't care anymore. You can connect things directly, and the hardware figures it out automatically, which is why crossover cables are mostly disappearing from everyday use. But the standards themselves still remain, because networking never truly forgets anything. So which one should you use today? Honestly, just pick one standard and stay consistent. That's the real answer. Most IT environments use Type B because it's the most common and most technicians recognize it immediately. But Type A is still completely valid and sometimes officially preferred. Neither one is magically faster. Neither improves your ping. Neither increases internet speed. If your internet is slow, Type B is not your problem. The real networking nightmare is inconsistency. Because the moment people randomly mix standards without understanding why, suddenly nobody knows which cable is crossover, which cable is straight through, and why the printer stopped working after Steve touched the wiring closet. And somehow, it's always DNS anyway. So the next time you see Type A or Type B wiring, remember, you're not just looking at cable colors, you're looking at a piece of networking history, left over from the transition between old telephone systems and the modern internet. And somehow, the internet still runs on it today.